it's Jerry, and hi again from my YouTube channel called Onyx Pages. I'm in Vancouver in Stanley Park right now, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I'm here with my amazing wife, who's being so very patient with me as I film these videos. And I'm gonna do the Booktube Newbie Tag while I walk around in Stanley Park. Okay, number one, why did you start this channel? I started this channel because I really love reading Afrofuturism books and science fiction books. And after reading with some new friends on the SOULar Powered Afrofuturism slow reading group on Facebook, which I started, I thought it would be really great to actually film videos about the books that we were reading because they were so awesome, and I wanted more people to know about the books. And I thought a Booktube channel would be a really great place to get that done. And then I started watching a lot of Booktube channels, and I really liked what people were doing, and I thought I would love to do that as well. I don't have as much technical skill as some of the folks that I've seen, but I definitely have a whole lot of interest and a lot of books. So that's why I started the channel. Number two, fun and unique things that I can bring to Booktube. I'm not sure. I think I have funny moments, so I'll bring as many of those as I possibly can. My perspective, I think, is a little bit different from what I've seen on Booktube, because I'll let that plane pass. I think my perspective is a little bit different from a lot of the channels that I've seen so far. I come from an anti-oppression, race-centered and queer perspective, and that's the perspective that I live, that's the perspective that I read from. And so far, the only booktuber that I've seen who reads from that perspective on a regular basis is Perpetual Pages. And other booktubers might sort of weave that in if they're doing a special diversity-themed video or something like that. So that might be something that I bring that's different. I've also created a 7-calorie shell book rating system, which my lovely wife assisted me with putting together, and I think that's a unique aspect that I would bring as well. I'm most excited about reading books. One of the things that I love about SOULar Powered is that it allows me to read, and it kind of keeps me accountable to my reading goals. We have a really busy lifestyle, and there's a lot of stuff that we have to read as a part of our job, as a part of my job, and so it's nice to be able to read something that's 100% for pleasure, and that's it. I love reading fantasy and fiction in particular because it allows me to just kind of get away for a minute and to explore new worlds. Also, I'm a person who believes in the power of the collective imagination. I think that African peoples have been able to accomplish a lot, specifically because we haven't limited ourselves to the worlds that we see around us. And so I think that science fiction and fantasy and speculative fiction allows us to imagine beyond the world that's been offered to us. So that's one of the reasons why I love reading the genre of science fiction and fantasy, and that's why I love reading what I'm reading. There was no book or book series that got me into reading. I'm an only child. I started to read a lot as a child in libraries, and I really enjoyed that, and so that's sort of what got me to read. What questions would I ask my favorite YouTubers? How do you read so much in such a short period of time? Because I see some of y'all be saying that your monthly to be read is like 15, 20 books or 8 books. I get through maybe a full book in a month, when I have to consider all the other priorities and tasks that I have to accomplish. So I'm curious about how you read most effectively. What do you do to read effectively? My biggest challenge is going to be consistency and also dealing with my perfectionism. I started reading when I was very young. I was a really early reader, so a long time ago. I don't remember when. Probably when I was, I don't know, 5 or 6. Like, I could read before I started junior kindergarten, so that was fairly early. Where do I read? Anywhere that I can. I try to read on my commute, so I read on subways and on streetcars. I also read before bed. I read on planes. I read wherever I can. And the kinds of books that I like to read, well, that's pretty self-explanatory. I love science fiction, fabulist fiction, magical realism, fantasy. I want to get more into biographies, and I'm interested in historical fiction, but I'm slow to that kind of stuff. So that's what I read. Anyway, I hope that this Booktube Newbie video has been interesting for you. It's kind of cool going through these questions and being a new part of the Booktube community. Anyway, I hope you also enjoyed the amazing view from Stanley Park, and me and my lovely wife say bye to you. Bye, and we'll see you next time. Bye.